Hi, it's Ashley from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop, and welcome back to my channel where I make a lot of cake and cookie decorating tutorials as well as give a lot of baking business tips. And we are back for another good old-fashioned cupcake decorating tutorial. These really help to add a fullness to my Bridgerton treat box, and if you guys are not into Bridgerton, this would definitely work for any spring-themed treat box you might be planning. I originally wanted to make madeleines for my treat box because that is very Bridgerton, but I decided to go with something a little bit more robust, so that's why I went with the cupcakes, and I infused them with orange instead because my madeleines have this really great punch of orange zest. So I decided to go with a little bit of a denser cupcake than I normally do and add in that orange citrus note. And let me tell you, the house was smelling so good. I will put the recipe down in the description box below. It is not my recipe at all, but it is fantastic. I will say that. The Greek yogurt really does wonders for this recipe and adds a lot of stability. The one little tip I will give you is for bake time, I used about 20 minutes in my oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a little bit more of a crumbly cake with a very tight crumb, so just give it a little less time in the oven than you normally would with the traditional cupcake. I'm using Italian meringue buttercream, which I personally like the best when I'm piping flowers. You can also use American buttercream. You just have to make sure that whatever buttercream you're using has a fairly high butter content. It helps keep things really nice and firm, and you just get a little bit more of a glossier texture. I'm using the exact same petal tip for this entire tutorial. So what I'm doing here is I'm just making small little rainbow arcs. The more intricate you want that rose to look, the tighter together you make those. I want this to be more of an open rose, so I'm going the opposite direction this time and swooping those petals out. The biggest thing when you're piping flowers is to make sure that everything is connected. The worst thing is to have gapping in your flowers because then obviously it doesn't look like a real rose or flower. To get this pink color that's coming through little by little, all I do is I take my piping bag and I put a bunch of food coloring in there, and then I kind of squeeze it around the bag empty. Then I place my white buttercream in. This just gives it a more natural look because it comes out of the piping bag little by little and it gives an ombre effect. I gotta say, I do miss when ombre was really in for cakes. I just think that looked so beautiful. The more closed you want the flower to look, aim that piping bag angled in directly towards the center. So here, notice all of the petals are staying closed. And then if you want to open it up a little bit more as you get around, you just hold that piping bag up and down so that it's not actually flaring those petals out, but it's just staying nice and tall. This is always good if you have standard size boxes at your bakery or you're using packaging that doesn't have a whole lot of area around the top of the cupcake, like in a clamshell cupcake box. Then you want to make sure that you use that design so it stays nice and tall and the icing doesn't go everywhere. If you're interested in seeing how I made those bee sugar cookies, then definitely go and check out this tutorial in the right-hand corner. For this final rose, I'm doing the exact same thing that I just did on the previous one, but I am shaking that piping tip a little bit back and forth so it creates a little bit of a wavy edge. These cupcakes do really well if you store them in the fridge for about 30 minutes before packaging so nothing gets wrecked. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. Right now, I'm uploading weekly, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Also, be sure to comment, request, or ask a question. I love hearing from you guys. Bye!